So now we come to question 10 of our data science question and answer series. So this is the last question in this set of 10 questions before we now go to the next set of 10, which is 21, which is 11 to 20. And I'd also like to remind you to subscribe to my channel so that when I make new lessons, you get notified. So just click on the button there, this button called subscribe. All right. So let's just remove this. All right. Oh, what happened? Okay, great. What is factor analysis? Factor analysis is a technique used to draw inferences about unobservable quantities that cannot be measured directly. The objective of factor analysis is to describe correlation between measured variables in a data set in terms of few underlying factors. The easiest way to understand factor analysis is to take an example. So let's take, for instance, in the students' exams. So the students have taken an exam in 4 subjects, let's say English, maths, physics, and let's say economics, for instance. So what we are saying is that the student performance in these subjects, the student performance in these 4 subjects can be explained using maybe only 2 factors. Are we saying that those 2 factors are maybe we select 2 of these subjects? No, these are 2 unobservable factors. They are called unobservable factors. So let's call those 2 factors F1 and F2, right? And for demonstration purposes, let these causes be Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4. So these 2 factors, what are they? We don't know, but roughly, let's say that maybe F1 and F2, F1 maybe quantitative reasoning, quantitative reasoning, and the next factor F2 is, let's say, verbal reasoning, right? Or verbal reasoning, or yeah, verbal reasoning. So reasoning. So we are saying that student performance in these 4 subjects can either be attributed to the student's ability in quantitative reasoning. So if somebody is doing very well in maths and physics, he can do a whole lot of calculation. He can do well in maths, he does physics, he can do calculation in chemistry, do economics calculation, other calculations. Then even if you have taken 100 courses, you can actually summarize his performance on these calculation intensive courses or mathematics intensive courses using just one factor called quantitative reasoning, ability to use numbers. But if you can do very well in writing essays, answering comprehensions, telling stories, then all the subjects might be related to verbal reasoning. So how do we now mathematically relate these factors and these subjects that are measured? So take note that we are talking about 2 things. So let me take green. So we have this, I want to take blue. So we have F1 and F2, and we have Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4. So these are observations, and these are unobservable factors. Okay, so let's try to do a relationship between these unobservable factors and the observations, right? So one way to do it is to regress each of these variables to the factors. So what we are simply saying is that we are simply going to do a regression, something like Y1 has something to do with F1 and F2. So Y1, maybe has 90% related to quantitative reasoning and 10% to verbal. But in this particular case, English may be related more closely to verbal reasoning and less closely to quantitative reasoning. So we use some kind of weights. So let's call those weights W, right? So we have W1 F1 plus W2 F2. So here it's telling us that Y1 is related to F1 and F2, but the extent is related to F1 is given by W1, and the extent is related to F2 is given by W2. And the same way, Y2 relates to F1 and also, so let's take this as Y3, W3. So let's use subscript. So W11, W12. So so in this case we are going to have W21 F1 and W22 F2. Y3 is equal to W31 F1 plus W32 F2, and Y4 is equal to W41 F1 plus W42 F2. So this is what we have, right? So now we can now have something like this. We can say F1 and F2, and we have W11, W12, W21, W22, and so on. So this is called loadings. So let me use another color to write it. So all these weights are called loadings. They are trying to tell us how much each of the factors, each of the variables affects is related to each of the factors. So that's why sometimes you may have here something like loadings. Well, I don't want to go any further. I just want to explain it in this simple way to make sure you understand it and you're able to explain it using simple diagrams and notations. So I'm going to stop here, and I would like to thank you for viewing. Remember to subscribe to my channel if you've not done so.